Rain poured like shattered glass from the heavens. Luo Chen trudged through the soaked alley, a half-torn delivery bag slung over his shoulder, its contents rapidly turning soggy. Late again, Luo Chen, his manager, barked over the phone. "You think the customers care about rain? You're fired." Click. Luo Chen stared at the screen, still glowing with the call-ended tone. Fired. Just like that. His shoes squelched as he walked, his soaked hoodie clinging to his skin. It was his third job this month. Another message popped up. "Zhao Yilin, you're really a loser, huh? Fired again? Don't bother calling me anymore." His fingers tightened around the phone. Zhao Yilin, his girlfriend of 3 years. Correction, ex-girlfriend. She dumped him 2 weeks ago for a middle manager with a car and a condo. Now she was rubbing it in. Luo Chen looked around. The streets of Jiangnan were bright with neon, but none of that light reached him. He ducked into the stairwell of the basement he rented, a damp, one-room space with mold on the walls and a single flickering bulb. A stack of debt notices sat by the door. He collapsed onto the thin mattress and laughed bitterly. How did it all go wrong? Once, Luo Chen had been a top student, a bright future ahead. But his parents had died in a suspicious accident 3 years ago. With no support and mounting hospital debt, he dropped out. Everything since then had been downhill. That night, lightning crackled in the sky. And with it came a knock on the basement door. Knock, knock, knock. Luo Chen froze. No one ever visited him. He opened the door cautiously. A figure in a black trench coat handed him an envelope. "Luo Chen?" "Yes?" "Then this is for you. From the Luo family." Before he could ask more, the figure vanished into the rain. He opened the envelope. "Luo Chen, come to the Luo family mansion. Your inheritance awaits." Luo Chen's breath hitched. The Luo family mansion? He'd heard whispers from childhood that his family once had roots, but his parents had never spoken of it. Was this a scam? But as he held the envelope, the paper pulsed faintly in his hand. A warmth that couldn't be explained. Something called to him. That night, Luo Chen stood before an old wrought iron gate on the outskirts of the city. The mansion loomed behind it like a ghost from another era, stone walls, overgrown gardens, and shuttered windows that still seemed to watch him. The gates creaked open without a touch. He stepped inside. With a deep breath, Luo Chen crossed the threshold of the main hall. Dust blanketed the marble floors. Portraits of stern-looking ancestors lined the walls. The air was thick with time. Then, ding! Sign-in system activated. "Welcome, host." Luo Chen froze. A glowing interface appeared in his mind like a hologram. Day 1 sign-in complete. Reward: Luo Global Group Ownership Certificate, net worth 1.3 trillion yen. He blinked. What? Then the interface shifted. Luo Global Legal Transfer arranged. Please proceed to the headquarters tomorrow for activation. Luo Chen stood in silence. Then he began to laugh. Low at first, then louder, echoing through the forgotten halls of his bloodline. From this day forward, everything changes. The sun rose over Jiangnan, but Luo Chen didn't sleep that night. He sat in the grand hall of the Luo family mansion, the dust and cobwebs unable to dull the strange warmth that now coursed through his veins. The sign-in system had awakened something within him, something ancient, powerful, undeniable. His fingers tightened around the ornate certificate glowing faintly on the table before him. Luo Global Group, full ownership transferred to Luo Chen, sole heir of the Luo bloodline. 1.3 trillion yen. He used to count coins to buy instant noodles. Now, he owned a global conglomerate. The system's voice rang in his mind again. Sign-in locations are tied to ancestral memory nodes. Visit locations of familial significance to receive daily rewards. Next sign-in unlocked at Luo Global Headquarters. He chuckled. A system that gives me rewards for going places? I'll take that trade. Outside, a sleek black car pulled up without a sound. A driver in a tailored suit stepped out and bowed. "Master Luo Chen," he said respectfully, "I am Su Bo, head of the Luo family's hidden household staff. I've come to escort you to Luo Global." "Hidden household staff?" Luo Chen repeated. Su Bo smiled politely. "Our orders were to remain dormant until your awakening. Now that you've returned, everything is yours." "Everything?" Luo Chen stepped into the car, watching as the old mansion faded behind them. He'd entered it as a broken man. He was leaving as the heir to an empire. Luo Global Group Headquarters, Zhengnan CBD. Towering over the skyline, the Luo Global building was a symbol of wealth, power, and dominance. Luo Chen stepped into the marble-floored lobby, his modest clothes drawing a few raised brows from the staff. "Who let this guy in?" a security guard muttered. But Su Bo handed over a gold-embossed envelope. The receptionist took one look and her expression changed from disdain to terror. "This is the founder's seal?" In minutes, chaos erupted upstairs. Top floor conference room. The board of directors sat like a pack of wolves in suits. They'd controlled the company for years after Luo Chen's father tragically passed. "Who is this punk?" a balding director scoffed as Luo Chen entered. "Some charity case?" Another sneered, "Must be a joke. This isn't a TV drama, some bastard son doesn't just inherit the company." Luo Chen said nothing. He walked to the head seat and placed the certificate of ownership on the table. System notice, authority verified. Corporate control transferred. The entire table went silent. One of them, a sharp-eyed woman in a gray suit, read the seal carefully. Her face drained of blood. "This is real. He owns 100% controlling shares." Panic set in. "Mr. Luo, we've always respected your father's memory. Let's work together. Perhaps a transitional period." Luo Chen looked at them with the calm of a storm waiting to break. "You leeches lived off my family's corpse for 3 years. Embezzlement. Bribery. Backdoor deals. You made my father's company your playground." He stood. "You're all fired." An hour later, the building echoed with shouts as security escorted trembling directors out one by one. In the now empty boardroom, Luo Chen stood by the window, staring down at the city. A smile played on his lips. Ding! Secondary reward unlocked. Public image cleanse. All major media outlets will broadcast the truth of your inheritance within 24 hours. His phone buzzed. Headlines were already popping up. Mysterious heir appears. Luo Chen, true successor to Trillion Yuan Empire. Luo Global executives fired after secret coup fails. The world was changing. And Luo Chen had just taken the first step. The Luo Global boardroom was silent now. The air no longer stank of corporate rot, it was crisp with new power. Luo Chen sat alone at the head seat, legs crossed, eyes closed. Yet within his mind, the sign-in system continued to hum. Authority integration complete. Host now has access to Luo Global's full database, financial systems, and elite management AI. A soft chime followed. Bonus reward, business strategy enhancement, level 1. Host's intelligence, decision-making, and economic insight temporarily boosted by 300%. Luo Chen's eyes snapped open clearer, sharper than ever. A sudden stream of data flooded his mind: stock trends, investment strategies, risk maps, internal audits, and 1,000 variables all weaving into perfect clarity. He muttered, "So this is what it feels like to awaken as a true genius." Within the hour, chaos turned to awe. Employees gathered in confusion as the CEO's office lit up with new protocols. Luo Chen moved like a storm, ordering full audits, restructuring entire departments, and eliminating corruption with surgical precision. Even the IT department trembled as he exposed a secret backdoor used by a rival company to siphon data. "Tell Vice President Hu," Luo Chen said calmly, "if he's still on the premises in 10 minutes, I'll personally escort him out." Moments later, security dragged out a man red-faced with panic. Social media exploded. Who is Luo Chen? CEO at 22? Exiled heir returns with terrifying power. One video went viral, a former director, now disgraced, storming out, shouting about a demon in human skin. But no one laughed. Because by noon, Chen had made headlines again. He shorted a crumbling multinational in the European market and flipped 3 billion yen in under an hour. Industry veterans were dumbfounded. Impossible. Even top hedge fund AIs can't respond that fast. He's either cheating or he's a monster. Back at the mansion that evening, Chen sat on a high-back leather chair, sipping tea as Subo stood nearby. Master Luo, the international investment circle is in shock. The Westbridge Consortium has sent a formal invite to their Geneva summit. Chen raised an eyebrow. Let them wait. Ding. Day 2 sign-in complete. Reward, custom supercar, Black Flame prototype. Top speed, 480 km per hour AI assisted. Value, 320 million yen. Moments later, a sleek black beast of a car rolled to a stop in front of the mansion, its doors opening upward like wings. Time to pay an old friend a visit, Chen murmured, eyes gleaming. Zhao Yilan's engagement party was held that night at the Five Seasons Hotel. High ceilings. Glittering chandeliers. Guests in silk and diamonds. Her new fiancé, Wang Xiao, preened like a peacock, boasting loudly to anyone who would listen. My fiancé upgraded, he laughed. Dumped a broke delivery boy. Can you blame her? Everyone laughed with him until the black flame roared to a stop outside. A pin could have dropped in the silence as Chen walked in. Tailored black suit. Polished leather shoes. That face, cold and distant now, turned heads. Zhao Yilan turned pale. Luo Chan? He didn't even look at her. Someone whispered, isn't that the new owner of Luo Global? Wang Xiao laughed nervously. That's impossible. He's just. Chen turned, finally meeting their eyes. He smirked. Sorry to crash your party. I just came to return something cheap I left behind. He held out a tissue. Zhao Yilan's face collapsed. You. Wang Xiao stepped forward in rage. You think money makes you better? Chen raised a brow. No. The 1.3 trillion yen, the private islands, the company, those just mean I can ignore people like you. He turned and walked out, every head in the room following his back like he was a king returning to his throne. The video of Chen walking out of the engagement party went viral within hours. Ex-boyfriend returns as billionaire heir. CEO Luo humbles gold digger X. Yen 1.3 trillion slap heard around the world. Zhao Yilan's face was now the subject of millions of memes. Wang Xiao's angry shouting had been dubbed over with cartoon sound effects. Meanwhile, Chen sat calmly at the top floor of Luo Global's private tower, watching the sun set over the city. Ding. Day 3 sign-in complete. Reward, intermediate business tactics plus Mind Palace unlock. Host may now simulate multi-layered strategies mentally and store up to 10,000 data points in real time. He took a deep breath. Inside his mind, entire corporate takeovers now played out like chessboards. His brain was a fortress, and every move was lethal. Elsewhere in the city, Zhao Yilan and Wang Xiao sat in a luxury cafe, both visibly shaken. You said he was a loser. Wang Xiao growled. Why didn't you tell me he had money? I didn't know either. Zhao Yilan snapped, tears of regret in her eyes. He used to borrow change to eat, how was I supposed to guess he was some hidden heir? Her phone buzzed. It was a message from Chen. Just 3 words. Enjoy mediocrity. Slightly smiling face. Her face went pale. The next moment, a waiter approached with a silver envelope. From Mr. Luo, he said politely. Inside was a gift card valid at the same cafe they were sitting in. Value, 10 yen. A note was scrawled below. Your taste hasn't changed. Still cheap. Wang Xiao nearly choked on his coffee. That night, at Luo Global headquarters, Su Bo entered Luo Chen's office with a frown. Master Luo, the Lu family has been calling non-stop. They've caught wind of your rise. Luo Chen's expression didn't change. The Lu family who forced my mother out of the clan years ago, he said coldly. Su Bo nodded. Yes. They want to reconcile. Luo Chen chuckled darkly. Let them wait outside. For a week. But sir, if they beg on their knees, I might let them keep their smallest company. The next morning, Luo Chen visited Jiangnan University, his old campus. He walked across the quad in a black coat, flanked by 2 assistants. Students whispered, recognizing his face from the news. He paused outside the economics building. This was where a professor once called him a disgrace for dropping out. Luo Chen, a voice said behind him. It was Professor Yang, same glasses, same superior tone. You again. Come to beg for a recommendation letter? Luo Chen turned. He pulled out a folded sheet, a 100 million yen donation agreement to Jiangnan University's Business Innovation Center. Actually, Luo Chen said, handing it over, I'm here as the new head sponsor. The professor's face froze. Also, Luo added casually, you're fired. What? You can't. Read the bottom. The donation clause includes institutional restructuring. First step, removing incompetence. The professor's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Luo Chen walked away. Later that night, he stood on the balcony of his mansion, city lights reflecting in his eyes. Ding! Bonus reward, emotional clarity, host's mental strength enhanced. Immune to manipulation, regret, and social pressure. No more hesitation. No more chains. He clenched his fist. The past humiliated me. I'm done forgiving it. Midnight. The Luo family mansion's private study was bathed in soft golden light. Ancient books lined the walls, but Luo Chen didn't need them. Not anymore. He sat at a custom holotable, fingers moving with calm precision as stock graphs, global indices, and blockchain flows danced in the air. Ding! Day 4 sign-in complete. Reward, Shadow Market Access plus Quantum Trade Algorithm, bound to host. New interface unlocked, Global Financial Manipulation Protocols. Luo Chen exhaled slowly. In mere seconds, he understood the potential. This wasn't just access to insider networks, it was an invisible weapon. One trade could bankrupt a company. 10 could topple a national bank. And tonight, he had a target in mind. Flashback, earlier that day. At Luo Global headquarters, the CFO rushed into the office, pale. Chairman Luo, bad news. Our IPO in the Southeast Asia market is being blocked. 2 foreign investment groups just formed a hostile alliance to strangle our entry. Luo Chen didn't even blink. Names? The Rockefeller Asia Fund and Blue Ocean Ventures. Powerful. Old money. Ruthless. Luo Chen's voice dropped. Then let's bleed them. Present moment. Within his mind's mind palace, he mapped out a sequence of trades so precise, even the AI assistants of Wall Street wouldn't have caught it. He initiated Phase 1. Sell high-frequency shares in synthetic gold futures. Trigger cascading price drops in Blue Ocean's hedge-heavy portfolio. Use shell companies to buy into their real estate assets at pennies on the yuan. Leak fake insider news of Blue Ocean's collapse on encrypted financial forums. Activate the quantum trade algorithm to repeat the sequence on Rockefeller's Asia-side assets. 5 hours. That's all it took. By morning. Breaking, Blue Ocean Ventures loses 6.2 billion yen in overnight collapse. Rockefeller Fund freezes Southeast Asia division due to unexplained losses. Market insiders suspect invisible hand behind the wipeout. Luo Chen closed the interface. His net gain, 8.7 billion yen. Later that day, at a private finance summit hosted by the Jiangnan Elite Chamber, murmurs filled the air. Who the hell is this Luo Chen? He just took out 2 of the 5 giants without leaving a trace. Some of the oldest financial families looked uneasy. A new name had entered the game and he wasn't playing by their rules. A blonde tycoon from Europe clinked his glass and said grimly, "This isn't a businessman. He's a phantom king." Back at the mansion, Subo approached with a strange expression. "Master Luo, there's a letter. Hand delivered. No sender. But it bears an ancient symbol." He handed it over. Luo Chen opened the wax seal and saw a crimson sigil, the mark of the hidden families. The note read, "You have awakened power that was never meant to be touched. If you continue, the old pact will be broken. Withdraw, or face annihilation." Luo Chen smiled coldly. "So the shadows are stirring." He tossed the letter into the fireplace. Ding! Bonus reward, Foundational Martial Arts, Luo Clan Style, unlocked. Techniques downloaded, Eightfold Palm, Iron Vein Breathing, and Heart Gaze Perception. His body tensed and surged with energy. Something ancient whispered in his blood. The businessman was now more than just a mind. He was becoming a weapon. "You want war?" Luo Chen muttered. "Then I'll give you empire." Nightfall. Rain slicked the streets of Jiangnan. Luo Chen's convoy was en route to a private networking dinner when his lead car suddenly braked hard. "Sir," his driver said calmly, "we're surrounded." Outside, a dozen black SUVs blocked the road. From each one stepped men in suits, no logos, no insignia, just cold expressions and scarred knuckles. Subo squinted. "Not corporate security. These are trained enforcers, ex-military, maybe underground." The largest man approached Luo Chen's car and knocked on the window. Luo Chen lowered it with calm fingers. "You Luo Chen?" the man asked. "Yes," Luo Chen replied. "You've been causing problems. The Lu family doesn't like problems." The Lu family. One of the hidden clans, distant bloodline rivals of the Luo, once allies, now vultures. They controlled arms trafficking, shadow industries, and had their claws in every black market syndicate in Southeast Asia. The man leaned closer. "Our masters say back off. No more expansions. No more humiliations. Or next time, it won't be a warning." Luo Chen looked at the man for 2 seconds. Then said, "You just wasted your last polite sentence." Ding! Combat encounter detected. Luo Clan Martial Protocol activated. Eightfold Palm initialized. Reaction time enhanced. Heart Gaze Perception active. Luo Chen stepped out of the car in the rain. "Take him down," someone shouted. The first thug lunged forward with a metal baton. Luo Chen moved like flowing water, his palm struck upward at an impossible angle, disarming the man and sending him crashing into the hood of his own SUV. Another came from behind. Luo twisted, his elbow catching the man's temple mid-spin. 3 more charged. Luo ducked low, swept a leg, and launched one of them into a wall with a palm strike that cracked brick. It was fast. Fluid. Terrifying. Within minutes, 12 men were unconscious in the rain. Luo Chen hadn't taken a single hit. Subo stared, stunned. "You've already reached physical awakening?" Luo Chen adjusted his sleeve. "Only the first layer. But it's enough for garbage like them." One man groaned, crawling away. Luo Chen crouched beside him and whispered, "Tell the Lu family this, I don't respond to threats. I bury them." Back at the Luo mansion, the system rewarded him. Day 5 sign-in complete. Reward, Luo Clan Combat Archives, partial unlock. Unlocked techniques, Silent Needle Touch, Meridian Seal, 1000-step flow. And a bonus reward appeared. Bonus, Ghost Level Combat Evaluation License. You are now registered in the Hidden Martial Registry as a potential Tier 5 threat. Your name will spread. Elsewhere, in a dark tea house atop Mount Yunhai, a man in monk robes set down a jade cup. "He's awakened both the system and the body arts," he murmured. The Luo line truly wasn't extinguished. Across the table, a masked woman spoke. Should we strike? The monk smiled coldly. Let the boy think he's unstoppable. The deeper he climbs, the longer the fall. Back in Jiangnan, Luo Chen stood by the window as the city glittered beneath him. He was no longer just a CEO. He was a financial juggernaut, martial cultivator, and awakened heir to a forgotten power. And the world had started noticing. Jiangnan Port District, midnight. Beyond the reach of city lights, a private elevator descended into the underworld literally. Luo Chen stood inside, flanked by Su Bo and a veiled woman in a cheongsam, Miss Lan, his newly acquired intelligence advisor. Former spy, current enigma. Why are we here? Luo Chen asked, adjusting the collar of his obsidian black suit. Miss Lan answered smoothly, the underground auction. Held once every 5 years. Artifacts, secrets, forbidden tech, and tonight, something tied to your bloodline. The elevator doors opened. The auction hall was carved into a cavern, glittering with chandeliers and guarded by silent men in suits. Power flowed through the air like static. Every guest here was dangerous. Luo Chen walked forward without fear. Ding! Day 6 sign-in complete. Reward, Auction Dominance Protocol. Host receives 1x black card, unlimited bidding authority, and negotiation skill boost, plus 500% for 12 hours. Hidden bonus triggered, ancestral bloodlink detected, Luo clan relic present. Inside, relics sat in glass cases, ancient weapons, AI-enhanced artifacts, alchemical scrolls, even restricted cultivation manuals. But one drew Luo Chen's eye immediately. A jade pendant, faintly glowing with swirling mist. The tag read, Unknown origin, believed to belong to the lost Luo patriarch. It called to him. His fingers tingled. His blood stirred. I want it, Luo Chen said. Miss Lan raised an eyebrow. Then you'll have to fight for it. The auction began. It was brutal. Wealthy heirs, warlords, and old families hurled money like missiles. Bidding wars erupted, items fetching 100 million yen in seconds. But Luo Chen sat still, until the jade pendant appeared. Starting bid, 1 million yen. 10 million, a voice said instantly, from the Lu family. 30, said a cold tycoon from the Sakura syndicate. 50, came a sneer from a Western magnate with a serpent tattoo. Luo Chen raised one finger. 1 billion. The room went silent. The auctioneer choked slightly. Oh, 1 billion? Luo Chen didn't blink. The black card pulsed in his palm. Who is this lunatic? The Western magnate hissed. He's bluffing. Miss Lan whispered, should I trigger the security override, sir? Luo Chen stood slowly. No need. He walked to the center of the hall. All of you, listen carefully. I'm Luo Chen. Inheritor of the Luo bloodline. CEO of Luo Global Group. And today, I'm taking back what's mine. He stepped forward. If you want to fight over my family's relics, step up. I'll bury you under the auction table. No one moved. The pressure in the room changed. Cold. Royal. Untouchable. The auctioneer slammed the gavel. Sold. To Chairman Luo. Later that night, back at the mansion. Luo Chen placed the jade pendant on a velvet cloth. It shimmered. Blood resonance detected. Unlocking Luo Clan Secret File 001. Ancestral Protocol, Luo Tianhai Founder. Martial Sovereign. Last seen 143 years ago. Status, vanished. Record unsealed, map coordinates hidden in pendant engraving. Luo Chen leaned forward as a glowing map projected into the air. A location deep in the western mountains marked the first gate. Bonus reward, Luo Legacy Chain Quest, initiated. Phase 1, discover the gate. Reward? He stared at the map, eyes sharp. The past left me puzzles, he murmured. Time to start solving them. 1 week later, Dubai International Finance Summit. The conference center gleamed with gold and glass, packed with titans of industry. Private security, world press, and billion-dollar egos filled the air with tension. And yet, all eyes turned when Luo Chen stepped through the doors. Black tailored suit. Calm expression. Flanked by Su Bo and Miss Lan, he radiated a quiet, undeniable dominance. Is that the Luo kid from Jiangnan? He crushed the Rockefeller Group's Asia division. He made 8 billion yen overnight, then vanished. Rumors followed him like shadows. But Luo Chen didn't come to make friends. He came to shake the world. Ding! Day 7 sign-in complete. Reward, Multinational Authority Protocol plus Investment Override Keys, X2. You may now force hostile takeovers of companies within influence range, regardless of board approval. Cooldown, 30 days. Bonus triggered, passive aura, global pressure tier 1 activated, wealth-based influence field. First target, Ironcore Energy, a global fuel conglomerate responsible for blocking Luo Global's clean energy initiative in Europe. CEO, Gerard Vaughan, a smug tycoon with steel gray hair and a god complex. At the summit's private networking gala, Gerard walked straight to Luo Chen, wineglass in hand. Mr. Luo, he smiled thinly. The child prodigy himself. Luo Chen returned a ghost of a smile. The walking fossil. Gerard chuckled tightly. You made a lot of noise in Asia. But this is the Global League. Be careful who you annoy. Luo Chen took out a tablet and placed it on the bar. A graph showed Ironcore's internal stocks rapidly plummeting. What the hell is this? Gerard snapped. I just acquired 41% of your board's controlling shares, Luo said coolly. Via 8 offshore funds tied to Luo Global. You're no longer the majority stakeholder. Gerard's face drained of color. Ironcore, Luo Chen said slowly, is now mine. Elsewhere across the world. News alerts exploded. Luo Global initiates hostile takeover of Ironcore Energy worth 120 billion yen. European energy balance shaken by Chinese megacorp. New financial monarch rises, who is Luo Chen. In New York, another power stirred. Inside a penthouse office, Victoria Holt, the CEO of Holt Banking Group, watched Luo Chen's news with narrowed eyes. So, he's coming for the West now. She pressed a button. Call the council. We have a wolf in the market. Back in Dubai, Luo Chen looked out from his hotel penthouse balcony. The Burj Khalifa gleamed above. Su Bo entered, wide-eyed. Sir, we've just overtaken 2 market giants in clean energy and resource logistics. Luo Chen didn't look away from the skyline. Prepare the announcement. Luo Global is going fully international. Ding. Bonus reward, Global Economic Profile, Top 10. Influence unlocked across 41 countries. System verified deterrent status achieved. Hidden families now on alert. But it wasn't enough. Luo Chen clenched the jade pendant in his palm. The engraving still burned in his mind, the first gate. Power, money, respect, he was winning battles. But now, the war was calling. Stormy night. Luo family mansion. Lightning split the sky as Luo Chen stood alone in the ancestral hall. Incense burned slowly. The jade pendant glowed faintly against his chest. Ding. Day 8 sign-in complete. Reward, Bloodline Memory Fragment, Luo Haoren, deceased. Unlocking sealed recollection. Suddenly, pain. A sharp pulse stabbed into Luo Chen's mind as fragmented visions overwhelmed him. A man in a black robe, standing before a boardroom. Hidden negotiations behind Luo Global's early expansion. A poisoned wine glass. The chilling final words of Luo Haoren, his father. They're coming for our bloodline, protect the gate. Luo Chen collapsed to one knee. Memory fragment complete. His eyes opened, filled with cold fire. Hours later, Luo Global Archives, Classified Wing. Miss Lan presented a locked briefcase. We found this during the Dubai takeover. Marked with your father's seal. It's not in any known database. Inside, a faded journal. Handwritten. Paranoid. Brilliant. Luo Haoran's final investigation log. The hidden families have turned. The Rothschilds, the Lius, even the Qings. They fear what our bloodline can unlock. I suspect one of them orchestrated the assassination. They've buried the truth beneath legal walls and offshore proxies. But I've hidden the key beneath the first gate. If my son ever finds this, don't trust anyone. Not even the board. Especially not. The name was burned away. Only one word was clear on the last page. Betrayal. That night, Luo Chen summoned his inner circle, Su Bo, Miss Lan, and two of his most trusted executives. He laid the journal on the table. My father didn't die in a car accident. He was silenced. They were silent. Luo's voice turned to steel. We're reopening the investigation. I want access to every hidden ledger, every closed case report. And I want it fast. Meanwhile, in a hidden villa in the Alps, a man with silver hair took a call. On the screen, Luo Chen's press statement played. The death of Luo Haoran was no accident. Those responsible will face judgment, no matter how deep they've buried themselves. The man frowned. So the boy knows. His assistant asked, do we proceed with containment? The man's eyes glinted with killing intent. No. We proceed with extermination. Back in Jiangnan. Late that night, a system notification chimed. Secret quest branch unlocked, Path of Vengeance. Main objective, expose the true orchestrator of Luo Haoran's death. Side reward, Luo Clan hidden technique, Heaven's Eye of Judgment. Warning, this path triggers a no-return flag. Enemies will escalate to lethal action. Luo Chen closed the window. He looked up at his father's portrait. The storm outside finally passed. I've inherited your empire, father. Now I'll finish what you started. Jiangnan skyline, midnight. The city shimmered beneath Luo Chen as he stood atop the newly renamed Luo Global Tower, a skyscraper that pierced the clouds. A storm loomed in the distance, but here, at the peak, only silence remained. Behind him, Su Bo stepped forward. Sir, the board has submitted full loyalty contracts. The internal traitors have been purged. Miss Lan added, Interpol quietly arrested the last Lu operative. Their European front collapsed overnight. And the first gate? Luo asked. We've secured the airspace. Drones and drones jammers deployed. The excavation begins at sunrise. Ding. Day 9 sign-in complete. Reward, world-class influence Tier 1 plus Heaven's Eye of Judgment, awakened. You are now listed in the Hidden Families global dossiers as a Tier S threat. Strategic retaliation authorized. Surveillance fails within 10 meters of you. Bonus perk, Law of the Crown, you may issue a global-level economic order once per month. Obstruction becomes political suicide. Luo Chen stood still. From broke nobody to this, in 10 days. In the western mountains, hours later. The excavation uncovered a massive stone arch embedded in the rock. Symbols glowed faintly, some ancient, some eerily digital. The first gate. Luo stepped forward, pendant in hand. As he approached, the gate hummed, resonating with his blood. Stone shifted. The symbols aligned. The gate opened. What lay beyond? Not just wealth. Not just power. Legacy. Memory. Forbidden cultivation tech. An entire underground sanctuary, Luo Clan's origin vault. Back in the city, the world trembled. Wall Street reported anomalies. Luo Global's new cryptocurrency protocol disrupted 3 central banks. Nikkei, London, and EU regulators were overrun by Luo-backed AI trading software. In 1 week, 5 Fortune 500 CEOs resigned after failed mergers with Luo Global. Even the hidden families were forced to acknowledge it. In a black marble chamber in Zurich, the elders gathered. He's too fast. Too decisive. He has the gate. The relics. The bloodline. What now? The eldest among them, blind but still sharp, answered. We do nothing, for now. If we strike, we lose. Because this is no longer the age of shadow clans. This is the era of Luo Chen. Night. Back atop the Luo Global Tower. The wind whispered as Luo Chen looked over his empire. Towering cities, digital networks, private islands, ancient relics, all under his control. Miss Lon stood beside him. The world is watching. What now? He smirked. Let them watch. He raised a glass. To the old world. Thanks for the memories. He poured it out. Then turned, eyes gleaming with ambition. From now on, the world plays by my rules. Ding. Day 10 sign-in complete. Final arc reward, system upgrade unlocked. New modules detected, Dimensional Travel Divine Lineage Protocol Empire Simulation Mode, Beta. Next arc, Global Ascension ready.